He's the lay, warlords come out to play. This could be your last day in life. Sacrifice, another Aztec dies.
This is crazy. This is some crazy shit, and it's real. After like after I divorced and everything, I went through a really bad divorce and whatnot, and like my faith level in God like totally went down, because before I used to be like really religious, and I had, well, not religious, but my faith level was like really high, even though I was going through a lot of stuff. And after my divorce and after I got my kids taken away, you know, my faith in God and all of that just went down the drain. Like there was none of that at all. And I used to curse God a lot and all of this other crap. So I remember during that time, I was really lost, and I was like really questioning a lot about life, and I was questioning like everything had a question to it. What I was going through, I couldn't put it together, and I began to like not be able to sleep. I would not sleep like all night, and I would always like try to figure out what the hell was going on with me, right? I remember one night I went to sleep. It was the first time I went to sleep in like a week, and during that whole time of me not sleeping, I was like really thinking like about the devil and bad spirits or whatnot, and I never once had in my head like for me to like even sell my soul or anything like that. But I remember like I used to hear like people talking about it, like, you know, I know people that did sell their soul, you know, and how changes were in their life and everything. But then later on down the road, everything just went like to the ground, right? So during that time, I was pondering about a lot of stories that people were telling me and everything. And I remember one night I actually did go to sleep, and when I went to sleep, I just I don't know if it was, I can't answer if this was a dream or if it was real, because I don't know, it was real to a certain extent, but I can't say which part was real, but the part where in my dream I went to sleep, right? Well, I went to sleep, and I started, like, I ended up like in a different dimension, you can say. And like I know this part isn't real. I was hanging in the sky, right? And half of my body was up and half of my body was down, and I believe it was the devil that was pulling me down. And God kept on lifting his hand, and I kept on telling God, you know, God to give me his hand, you know, not to leave me, and he just started fading, and he ended up pulling me down. The devil ended up pulling me down. And that whole time that this is where I believe that maybe it had to be real. While I was sleeping, I literally, my body was dragged off the bed, right? And I remember like a thump of my body falling on the floor, and trying to wake up, and I couldn't wake up, and this ugly thing, I don't know if it was the devil or if it was just one of his helpers or whatever you call it, was on top of me, choking me, literally like this. It was like this, because when I woke up, I had the nail prints like this in my neck, right? And I remember I couldn't breathe, and I was there with one of my friends, and he was trying to wake me up. And I remember I was screaming, and then I guess, I don't know if I guess it turned me over, and I had scratches on my back. I had scratches like from my legs coming down all the way to my feet, like literally like scratches, like if it was pulling me the whole time that I was in that dimension or world or whatever. Whoever it was pulling me, whatever it was pulling me, and, you know, speaking in this like this foreign language, I guess, dialect or whatever you want to say. and I didn't understand anything. And I remember I was praying and I was praying and I was praying and nothing. And my friend picked me up and he took me outside, and then he sprayed me down with the water hose. And I don't know when in between all of that, how long of a time that I was out, and I ended up getting up. And when I got up, I had these things on my neck that just had appeared. They appeared because from this person that was on the outside doing all of this said that when all of this was happening to me, I was screaming and everything, but there was nothing like coming, no marks coming on me automatically, like, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Like, during this whole time, like, this person didn't know what was going on, and these marks on me didn't come out right at that moment when everything was happening. They appeared after, when I woke up, right? So this person was like, what's going on, and what's happening? And I started saying, what the hell happened? I started looking at myself, and when I looked at myself, that's when I seen like the red marks on my legs and the thing on my neck, because I started saying like, dude, it was choking me. Whatever this was choking me, was speaking in a different language, turned me over. I was scratching my back and scratched my legs, and it was pulling me. And right here I had like on my ankles, like the first time, oh yeah, the first time it was like red. The eyes were red. I remember that like clearly. Hands were super cold.
They were what?
Staley cold. Like the hands were cold and they were staley, because I remember I was trying to pull the hands off of me, and the nails were like
claws.
Yeah, but very like pointy at the end. Second time it was a person, I believe. It was a person this time. It was a person. Whatever it was a person. Because in the house there is a spirit. There's two spirits actually inside the house. One of them that I see all the time. I don't have problems seeing spirits because I see things, you know. But there's two. The one that I see in the house, it's like mellow. You know, I guess Robert believes it's one of his friends or something that passed away. And it's real mellow, like nothing, you know what I mean? Like just hangs around. But there's another one, you know, that I just started recently noticing and seeing that it's not. It's dark. You know, it's cold. It doesn't have a face. It's just a spirit. But when that had happened to me, like a month ago, it wasn't a spirit. It was a person. You know, and I was tripping out because I was right there on top and I was seeing it. And I remember I was praying and praying and praying, and I heard his kids. When his kids were on summer school, and I was hearing the kids in like the living room, I believe. And I wasn't as scared because I was already kind of familiar, like because I do have some stuff like this does happen to me. So it wasn't so much where I was like, oh my God, like the way I was the first time it happened and the second time and the third time. This time it was just like I knew what was going on, like it was a natural thing, but it was still kind of like, I still felt like, you know, I had to pray for me to wake up, to get out of wherever I was, to return back into my body and hopefully like wake up or something, I don't know.